Hi, what I'd like to show you is what we've been working on over the last couple sprints. This is all in the OpenShift Ansible contrib repository. We're going to work on merging that back into the OpenShift Ansible contrib repo. So the whole goal was to actually take and actually build a little integration guide how you could take the OpenShift Ansible contrib reference architectures for various providers, pull them into Ansible Tower, and use them to deploy OpenShift Container Platform, along with Red Hat CloudForms and Red Hat Insights on different cloud providers. In this case, we've worked on Amazon Web Services to start. So I'll give you a quick demo, but the Tower integration guide here gives you a step-by-step on how to actually do what I'm going to show you right now in a little bit more detail. So the first thing is, if you look, we have a Tower instance on AWS. We have two of them. I'm going to be working off of Tower 2. So this is a blank Tower instance. So if I go here, you'll notice I have no projects, no inventories, no templates. And so these are things that you'd have to go into Tower and create, and then begin syncing the upstream repositories into there to go ahead and do a deployment. We've built something that helps with that. So what this is it's a little bootstrap script. So actually, if I look, I'm currently in the Ansible Tower integration Tower config directory. And what I can do is run this playbook and pass in my extra variables for my SSH key for AWS, the AWS secret, Tower password, and the AWS machine SSH key. And basically when I run this, what's going to happen is it's going to configure the instance of Tower for me. It's going to make sure all the libraries are there, the modules required to interact with the AWS APIs are installed on the Tower instance. It's also going to go ahead and create projects, inventories, templates, even the credentials required. And then it's going to kick off a sync. So it's actually going to begin syncing the GitHub repositories into Tower. It'll also create a workflow that will take those various job templates and string them together. So now after I create a schema for the workflow here and run it through, this should complete. This makes setting up Tower much faster. You don't have to go through and click through the user interface. You simply take a blank Tower instance, run this bootstrap, and it will configure everything so that you can begin deploying. So I could see that finished. If I go back into my Tower instance, you'll notice that there are a number of job templates in an inventory. And this is really what strings all the job templates together. It's a workflow called Workflow OCP. I can go into here and hit the workflow editor, and I could see that it's created a job. And this job will basically create the AWS infrastructure using a CloudFormations template. It will use inventory, the AWS instances, run the OpenShift installation on those instances. It'll create an HTTPD file in this case because we're just using simple authentication. It will enable Red Hat Insights. It will go ahead and inventory the instances again. It will deploy CloudForms as well. And then it will configure CloudForms to connect to OpenShift. So now with this workflow configured, I can actually go ahead and drop back to my templates and go ahead and deploy with this workflow. So I'll go ahead and start a job using this template. And as you can see, it's kicking off. So this is going to take about an hour because it's going to spin up the CloudFormations template, install OpenShift, deploy a VM to deploy CloudForms on top of, deploy CloudForms, connect it into the OpenShift environment, and configure insights. But we'll come back in a little while and see the results. Okay, so I could see that my job was successful here, the workflow that completed. If I go to EC2, I can see if I refresh my EC2 instances that I now have an entire OpenShift deployment running on AWS. I'll go ahead and pull the public IP address of the CloudForms appliance. But if I browse to OpenShift master, I now have that up and running. I could log in with the user that I created based on what was in the HTTPD job that I ran, playbook. And I am now in OpenShift, so I can begin creating my project here. So hopefully this gives you a good idea of how you can go ahead and get this up and running quickly. Just a couple other quick things. You'll see the application was deployed here. So fully capable, fully running. I'll go ahead and show you a couple other things. I opened up a tab here for Red Hat Insights. So you could see that what actually happened was it actually created a custom group for this particular deployment of OpenShift. And I could view the inventory of the systems here that were all registered inside of Red Hat Insights. And then finally, I should be able to browse to CloudForms. And I'll go ahead and log in here. And if I go to Compute and Containers, containers. Here you can see my OpenShift provider has been added, and I'm able to get all the relationship data right out of the gate. So hopefully this gives you a good idea of what we were able to do. We were able to very quickly bootstrap a Tower instance to have all the different playbooks and reference architectures we needed to deploy OpenShift, CloudForms, and Insights on top of AWS, and hook them all together in a meaningful way. Thanks.